Hey guys, I'm Rob Bass, and this is the WWE Fast Post Report. Now, guys, normally I don't do wrestling post reports. We have our own podcast called The Wrestling Court, which we do every week. But I felt that I should start doing these things. Post reports seem to be pretty popular, and I have an opinion. So remember, this is all opinion. You don't have to like what I'm saying, and thank you anyway. So first and foremost, the pre-show happens, and it's just Ms. Dow talking to Paul Heyman. It was a waste of a segment. Honestly, it's cool to see Paul Heyman. Love seeing him, but in the long run, it really was what we're talking about. So let's just kind of skip it along. The three-man tag team thing with Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler and Eric Rowan and Ryback and Big Show and Kane. I love Seth. I think he's a future of the company. I think Dolph is I don't know what they're doing with Dolph Ziggler. It's kind of sad. I don't know if he screwed somebody over or what he did. He was their future, and now he's kind of like their sad little past. So Seth is on his way up, but he's getting a little bit of flack for whatever happened in Twitter world. And we have this match with Big Show, Kane, and Seth going over Eric Rowan's, Ryback, and Dolph Ziggler. Honestly, it wasn't that it was a bad match. Keeps Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins in matches. They're going to look great together. Everyone was actually a very good wrestler. Luckily for them, Ryback came off looking okay. He's not that good. We all know that, but at the same time, at least he didn't ruin anything. All right, the next match I want to talk about is Goldust versus Stardust. Now, this should be a WrestleMania type match. This is brother versus brother. Great gimmicks, great wrestlers, good talent in the ring. A lot of people saying the ending was botched. There was some missteps. It was a little slow. But honestly, I think it's part of the storytelling. I think, when Goldust says he's going to break Stardust and bring back Cody, that's hard to do in the ring, especially on a pay-per-view like Fastlane. All right, so you know who wins Goldust over Stardust in a weird kind of finish. This tag team match, honestly, I almost completely forgot about it. Not the biggest fan of the Usos. Not that I hate them. I think they're a great tag team. They're very solid wrestlers. Samoans are phenomenal at what they do. But Cesaro and Tyson Kidd getting it over, which was a real surprise to me. I actually thought they were going to keep the belt longer. But there's going to be another match at the pay-per-view. Who knows? Maybe even Raw they're going to lose it. Honestly, I hope not. We'll see what happens. This, to me, is the biggest waste of time. They could have done this on Raw. They could have done something. Triple H did have a really good promo against Sting, and I actually thought his promo was actually one of the better ones. But, Sting comes out. They're going to fight. We know it's not going to be that good, but the fans want to see Sting. People like Sting. So, that happened. And that's all I could say about it. It was just a fight, a beatdown, and then it ended. Alright, so Nikki versus Paige. Paige had such promise, and honestly, I do think she's still a little green in some spots. She doesn't know how to change her character very well, so I think she needs to develop her character better. Nikki, of course, knows her character, and of course, the Bella Twins are who they are. Wasn't a horrible match. I don't want to say it was a bad match. Nikki retained the title makes sense. She shouldn't lose the title like that, especially who she is and who she was. So, Paige has just got a lot more to grow up to. Dean Ambrose and Wade Barrett, I don't know. I think both of these are great wrestlers. I just didn't feel the chemistry, and I don't really want to spend a lot of time with this match. And I don't think the outcome really mattered. Wade Barrett and Dean don't have much chemistry, and that's just me personally. I just didn't feel the chemistry, but this happens a lot with Dean Ambrose. His character is such a way that it's just not working. Honestly, Rusev versus Cena was one of the best matches of the night. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, don't want to hear that because it's John Cena. But really, Cena knows his place. And the fact that the ending was Rusev over Cena, of course it was a dirty finish, but he's a bad guy. Bad guys, the heel's supposed to have a dirty finish, kicking him in the balls and cheating. And of course it builds up for another match at WrestleMania. And I was really surprised to see Rusev go over Cena. And I loved it. I thought it was really good. And I can't wait to see more from these two. Now we get to the main event. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Well, first and foremost, we know that Roman Reigns is going to win because he has to fight Brock Lesnar. This is what Vince wants, this is what the company wants, and this is what's going to happen. Was it a horrible match? Absolutely not. Was it a great match? Absolutely not. These guys did their best with the limitations they have to work with there. Brian, of course, knows how to work in that ring, and Roman Reigns knows his two moves and gets him over as being the number one guy. In the end, I don't see Brock Lesnar and him having a really good match. I mean, unless Brock pulls something unique out of himself. But the best thing that can happen is Roman Reigns gets Paul Heyman as his voice piece and Brock leaves, which you could set Brian for later, or maybe even a three-way dance at the pay-per-view. Well, that's just my opinion. That was my quote-unquote pseudo post report. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, go to alternativeminds.com on a daily, and thanks for watching.